Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class of ISKCON Portland. Today we'll be reading from Canto 1, Chapter 11, verse number 35, which is about Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. But before we start, I would like to do Mangala Charan prayers to invoke the mercy of previous acharyas. And I request all the devotees for your blessings so that I can speak something. I don't make any mistakes and I'm able to repeat the words of previous acharyas. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarni He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I also want to chant the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam as we're going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, I'll share my screen to show the verse for today. So this is 1.11.35. So I'm gonna recite the verse a few times and then request devotees if they would also like to do the same. Sa esha naralokesmin avtirna swamayaya Reme Sri Ratna Kutastho Bhagavan Prakrito Yatha Sa esha naralokesmin avatirnaha swamayaya Reme Sri Ratna Kutastho Bhagavan Prakrito Yatha Sa esha naralokesmin avatirnaha swamayaya Reme Sri Ratna Kutastho Bhagavan Prakrito Yatha. Would any devotees like to chant the prayer as well?
Thank you, Mati. Can try Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sa esha na lokesmin avatirna samayaya रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थो भगवान् प्राकृतो यथा.
Anybody else?
Sa esha naralokesmin avatirena swamayaya remistri ratna tashto bhagwan prakrito yataha. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Any other devotee would like to chant as well? Lila Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hello. I bowl usually Puna Mataji is here. She does it, but I'll do it today. I'll
Please.
try.
Yes, Mataji.
Sa esa naralokesmin avatarna sa mayaya remistar ratna utastho bhagavan prakrito yatha.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, we will go ahead with the synonyms. Saha, he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eshaha, all these. Naraloke, on this planet of human beings. Asmin, on this. Avatirnaha, having appeared. Swa, personal, internal. Mayaya, causeless mercy. Reme, enjoyed. Stri Ratna, woman who is competent to become a wife of the Lord. Kutastha, among. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Prakritaha, mundane. Yatha, as if it were. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst competent women as if he were engaging in mundane affairs. Purport. The Lord married and lived like a householder. This is certainly like a mundane affair, but when we learn that he married 16,108 wives and lived with them separately in each and every palace, certainly it is not mundane. Therefore, the Lord, living as a householder amongst his competent wives, is never mundane, and his behavior with them is never to be understood as mundane sex relation. The women who became the wives of the Lord are certainly not ordinary women, because to get the Lord as one's husband is the result of many, many millions of births, tapasya, austerity. When the Lord appears on different lokas or planets, or on this planet of human beings, he displays his transcendental pastimes just to attract the conditioned souls to become his eternal servitors, friends, parents, and lovers, respectively, in the transcendental world, where the Lord eternally reciprocates such exchanges of service. Service is pervertedly represented in the material world and broken untimely, resulting in sad experience. The illusion living being, conditioned by material nature, cannot understand out of ignorance that all our relations here in the mundane world are temporary and full of inebrities. Such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually. But if the same relation is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to the transcendental world after leaving this material body and become eternally related with him in the relation we desire. The women amongst whom he lived as their husband are not, therefore, women of this mundane world, but are eternally related with him as transcendental wives, a position which they attain by perfection of devotional service. That is their competency. The Lord is Param Brahma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conditioned souls seek after perpetual happiness in all places, not only on this earth, but also on other planets throughout the universe. Because constitutionally, a spiritual spark, as he is, can travel to any part of God's creation. But being conditioned by the material modes, he tries to travel in space by spacecraft and so fails to reach his destination. The law of gravitation is binding upon him like the shackles of a prisoner. By other processes, he can reach anywhere. But even if he reaches the highest planet, he cannot attain that perpetual happiness for which he is searching life after life. When he comes to his senses, however, he seeks after Brahman happiness, knowing it for certain that unlimited happiness which he is seeking is never attainable in the material world. As such, the Supreme Being, Parabrahma, certainly does not seek his happiness anywhere in the material world, nor can his paraphernalia of happiness be found in the material world. He is not impersonal. Because he is a leader and Supreme Being amongst innumerable living beings, he cannot be impersonal. He is exactly like us, and he has all the propensities of an individual living being in fullness. He marries exactly like us, but his marriage is neither mundane nor limited by our experience in the conditioned state. His wives, therefore, appear like mundane women, but factually they are all transcendental liberated souls, perfect manifestations of internal energy. Jai Shri Prabhupada. It was a relatively long and purport and full of so many points, so many things in which you can dive deeper. So some of the things which really stood out for me were how the Lord married 16,100 wives, and but he was not like a normal person who, like one person with that many wives, but he expanded himself and he lived with them separately, and he was able to satisfy the relationship individually with each and every wife, and also the position of those wives, like how could those how could his wives get that wonderful position of being the wife of the Supreme Lord? Were they mundane women, like how, mundane women like how we see in the material world, or are they some special beings? So, and there were many other things which Srila Prabhupada brought out in this purport. I'll try to touch on a couple of them in the next few minutes. So kindly give your blessings. I'm going to read the translation once again. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst competent women as if he were engaging in mundane affairs. So, Lord Krishna is one of the most misunderstood personality. There are Lord Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita. He has done so many pastimes that many people know, and those people who have heard of those pastimes, I'm talking about them. Majority has a very very low estimate of Lord Krishna. Because they just cannot understand his leelas. Lord Krishna's leelas can be understood in reality only by his pure devotees and the people who hear from the pure devotees. Otherwise, they can totally boggle. They can make you a person of Kali Yuga can totally feel, oh, this person Krishna is doing immoral things, which are immoral as per our yardstick of current living. He's enjoying with so many women. He's enjoying with 16,108 wives. I mean, that's a big, huge number. And people say all kinds of bad things about Lord Krishna, that he was flirting with gopis and then he had so many wives. And he inspired or instigated some people to say lies, and so on and so forth. The list is pretty long, but this is one of the most highlighted one. People try to, in fact, imitate Lord Krishna because they feel, oh, the God is enjoying with so many women, so maybe that's how they want to follow that particular example which has been set by the Lord, and they also want to enjoy with multiple women at the same time, not understanding that the Lord had expanded himself. He was one-on-one with each and every wife, not like a mundane person who is like one person and having more than one wife or girlfriends, or but Lord Krishna was able to have that one-on-one relation with each and every wife, and they just want to imitate certain portions of his Leela. They don't want to imitate lifting Govardhan Hill because they know they'll utterly fail. But this is something which many people want to. They deride Lord Krishna by bringing out this example in a very contorted way, in a uh, very negative light. Uh, so our acharyas have tried to give us this knowledge that we should not be jumping to these confidential pastimes without a proper understanding about who God is, who Lord Krishna is, who we are, and what is our relationship, and so on and so forth. So all the concepts which are given in Bhagavad Gita, we should understand those before approaching these kind of topics. So this is one of the most frequently asked questions, like when we are talking to new people and telling them about Bhagavad Gita, this question invariably comes up, where they, oh, you're talking about Krishna, but isn't he the one who had so many girlfriends? Isn't he the one who was flirting and had so many wives? I mean, this question always is at the top of materialistic people, which makes the majority of the population, and they cannot fathom. They just don't understand these confidential reasons which are given in open in Srimad Bhagavatam. If somebody takes the interest, the answers are all given in our scriptures. We just need to have that faith and interest to pick out those gems. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is trying to show us that these pastimes are not mundane. They may look as if the Lord is enjoying with multiple women, but he is not like, these are not mundane affairs. Again, because he was able to have that one-on-one relation with each and every person. We have discussed this in previous discussions also, because while going through this chapter, like how in Dwarka, Lord Krishna had one palace per wife. So there were 16,108 palaces, and Lord Krishna was doing his pastimes at the same time in all the palaces. So each queen felt as if Lord Krishna was just with her. And Lord lived like a common householder. He did all kinds of things, starting from morning when he got up in the Brahma Muhurta, he did meditation, and he was showing by example how to live a householder life. And even great sage Narad Muni was perplexed, and we see in Krishna book in Srimad Bhagavatam how he was trying to test what Lord Krishna is doing, and he went from one palace to another, and in every palace he saw Lord Krishna doing different things with that wife and the kids, and even the time changed. In some place it was morning, in some place it was evening, and in some place he was playing with the wife or playing with the children. So through Narad Muni's experiences, we are also able to relish those pastime mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, about all these inconceivable things that the Lord has done. And I was reading while preparing for this class that when Lord Krishna married these 16,108 100 wives, there are 8 primary wives, Rukmini, Satyabhama, and so on, Jambavati. But then these 16,100 wives, they were princesses who were captured by Narkasur, and Lord Krishna released them by, he killed the demon Narkasur, and then he released these princesses from the prison of that demon. And then those princesses wanted to marry Lord Krishna. Also, per the social custom, they could not have gotten married to anyone else because they had been touched by Narkasur, and they all these women, they were captured there, but they were great devotees. They had done so much austerities in their past lives to come to this position where they requested the Lord and the Lord agreed to marry each one of them. So when Lord Krishna married these 16,100 wives, even the marriage ceremony happened at the same time in different palaces. And the beauty which I was struck with yesterday is not only that Lord Krishna expanded himself to marry those people, those wives individually, even his relatives, his mother Devki, they were also present at the same time in all those palaces. So Lord Krishna can do just about anything. He expanded not only himself but the whole family. It was like a replica was there in each and every palace at the same time, and all the marriage ceremonies, all the 16,100 marriage ceremonies took place at the same time as if the whole family was there. So isn't that amazing? Like, and this reminded me of Brahma Vimohan Lila, where Lord Krishna expanded himself in those as the gopas, as the calves, to uh, and for whole 1 year, all the calves and all the gopas in Vrindavan were no one else but Lord Krishna himself, because he wanted to please the devotees, the mothers of those gopas and the mothers of those calves, so that they could experience Lord Krishna as their son for 1 whole year. So Lord Krishna can do these wonderful pastimes. Even Lord Brahma got bewildered by that pastime of Lord Krishna. He thought like he had captured all these gopas and these calves, and they are in the cave. He also went and checked. Oh, they are in the cave, and then but come out of you look the other side, and the same set of people are having all kinds of pastimes with Lord Krishna. So the great personality, Lord Brahma, who's a great devotee, but he was put under illusion first momentarily, and even he got bewildered by seeing this pastime. So Lord Krishna can do wondrous things. Uh, he can so he if we just go through the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10, uh, it is full of pastimes where Lord Krishna has done wonderful things, which are not mundane at all. Right from his birth, right from his appearance, all the things that happened, and then all the demons he killed. He did various leelas with his mother, the Damodar Lila, the eating mud pastime, and so on and so forth. The list is endless, for swallowing the whole forest fire, lifting the Govardhan hill, and then of course also having the rasa dance with all the gopis. His he created so many pastimes. He created so many situations to give rasa to the devotees, who were waiting to have these interactions with the Lord, and give them so many reasons to go on talking about Lord's pastimes and relishing them. So paritranaya sadhunam, that's the main reason why Lord Krishna appears and does all these pastimes, so that sadhus, his devotees, get more and more topics to relish, to talk about. Tushyanti Ramanti Chas. They want topics which they can talk about, discuss with each other, and derive unlimited and transcendental pleasure. So Lord does all these pastimes to give pleasure to his devotees. So back to this purport where was I? So Lord Krishna was, when he married these women, these ladies, 16,100 princesses, the ceremony happened at the same time, and all his relatives also expanded in each and every palace. So that part was beautiful, at least for me. So Lord Krishna can do any he does magic. I made a set of a few notes. They were, oh yeah, so maybe I can touch upon the thing that these devotees, the wives, had done millions of years of tapasya. So I'll highlight that portion here. Because to get the Lord as one's husband is the result of many millions of births, tapasya, austerity. So these wives, had done. They were. They had done a lot of tapasya. It is also mentioned in chapter 33 of Krishna book that even the gopis who were there, who got similar opportunity to interact with the Lord um, in the Vraj Lila, when the Lord was having the exchanges with the gopis. So these gopis were great. They were sages in the Dandakaranya forest when Lord Ram had appeared. And those sages wanted to have this Madhurya Rasa relationship with Lord Ram, but Lord Ram had taken the Ekapatni Vrata. So he said that I will satisfy your desires when I come again in the next avatar. So these they were great sages who were involved in so many austerities and tapasyas, and those sages were born as they appeared as the gopis. And so similarly, these wives of Lord Krishna and the gopis, they are not ordinary people like me and many other people of Kali Yuga. They are very, very pure souls who have purified their hearts, who have purified their existence through millions of years of austerities. So it's not easy. You cannot have just, a mundane person be get such a exalted position of being an associate of the Lord, like the position of parents, the position of the conjugal lovers, friends. Think about the gopas who would have wrestling matches with Krishna, who would sit on top of Krishna on his shoulders. Can somebody do that? Like, can an ordinary person get that kind of a chance? No, no chance for that. They were great devotees, and after so much of austerities, they got this opportunity to have these kind of loving, intimate pastimes with the Lord. In Bhagavatam, we read clearly even the names of uh, so for the mother and father of Lord Krishna in this appearance. Devaki and Vasudeva were his parents. Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that in the past two lives, who they were, and this was the third time the Lord had become their son, and they had done millions of years of tapasya. Devaki and Vasudeva were Prishni and Sutapa in the previous ages, and they had done 12,000 years, 12,000 celestial years of tapa. I mean, it's a long time that they spent in tapasya. And then Lord Narayan gave them the boon that he will satisfy their desire, that he will appear as their son. So he first appeared as Prishni Garbha from Prishni and Sutapa. Then the same devotees were appeared as Kashyap Muni and Aditi, and the Lord took birth as Vamandev from them. So that was his second appearance. And then this is the third time when they have appeared as Devaki and Vasudeva, and Lord Krishna appeared as their son again in this life. So to get that position of being Devaki and Vasudeva, that is the mother and father of Lord Krishna, we see the numbers also given in Srimad Bhagavatam, like they underwent a lot of austerities, and after that they are able to get this high position. The same for the wives of Lord Krishna, and similarly for gopis who were in one of the most intimate relationships with Lord Krishna. They were great sages, and who had done austerities, and that's how they got this opportunity. And yeah, so Lord Krishna, when we say that he was with 16,100 wives, when people give try to deride Lord Krishna by saying this, they don't understand that Lord Krishna is also present as Paramatma in each and every living entity. So millions, billions, zillions. There's not even a number. He's present even in a blade of grass, in a squirrel, in a human being, in a cat, trees, everywhere, earthworms. He's present in the heart of each and every living entity as Paramatma. So when Lord Krishna can expand himself in that we don't even have a number for that number. Almost, you can say infinite. He can have infinite expansions. Then what is this number 16,100? I mean, it sounds like a speck of dust. Can't even there is it's like hardly anything. Krishna, if he can be in infinite places, then what is what's the wonder about him being at 16,100 places? I mean, if you have that knowledge, then it just looks like, oh, it's a very, very small number. But if you're coming from a totally materialistic background, no knowledge, then you would think, oh, this person is enjoying with so many wives, with so many gopis at the same time. So the knowledge of Shastra is paramount, very, very important for us to understand who God is and why he does certain things, and who are these people who are there, who have got this rare opportunity to be Lord, to take part in Lord's pastimes. So that was one. Oh yeah, and then again on the same topic, where people deride Lord Krishna when they don't understand his confidential pastimes. So Bhagavad Gita 9.11 is totally focused on those kind of people. The verse is Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So Lord Krishna, this is ninth chapter, which is like in the middle of Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Krishna tells that these people, they deride him when he appears in this human-like form, and they don't understand his transcendental nature. So there are the world is full of the mudhas who do not understand. They are mudhas. They are covered. They are full of ignorance. Their intelligence is covered, and they just look down upon the pastimes of Lord Krishna without like, some people are ignorant, they actually don't know, but there are some people who, even if they know, they don't want to actually understand, and they do all kinds of aparads against Lord Krishna. So 9.11 is a very nice verse, which tells us the mentality of people who have this kind of asuric nature, and they deride Lord Krishna's pastime. Okay. And then Bhagavad Gita also tells in, like, there are so many points here. I'm trying to see which one to cover. So 9.11, people deride Lord Krishna. There are so-called philosophers, great philosophers, who write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, and they give all kind of mundane interpretations to Bhagavad Gita. They will not talk about that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That whole point is taken out, and you read management points from Bhagavad Gita. They will use Bhagavad Gita for all kinds of materialistic things except bhakti, which is the most important thing which Lord Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. That point will be taken out. The transcendental nature of the Lord will be taken out, and you will be left with some commentary on Bhagavad Gita about self-help, and to use Bhagavad Gita for all kinds of mundane things. So we need to stay away, and the life is very short. People who have at least come across some bhakti, have come in contact with some bhaktas and are trying to make some progress in bhakti. Very important to read, to spend your time with some intelligence, some discrimination, and read the literature written by Vaishnava saints, and really get the proper understanding. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Lord Krishna also tells us that there is how he sets examples for other people. So there are people who will deride him no matter what Lord Krishna does, but Lord Krishna is trying to proactively. He knows he's the one who has designed the world. But proactively, Lord Krishna tries to do all to do duties, the prescribed duties for that particular incarnation that he has come as. So like when he was here as Lord Krishna, he would do all the kinds of prescribed duties of a householder, exactly what we were reading in today's verse. Like he was with the wives, and he would appear as if he's a normal householder doing all regular things, having a wife, having children, taking care of them, raising them, and playing with the children, and also doing meditation and showing them, when some guest comes, some saint comes, then washing the feet of the saint. So he's doing all those things to set an example, although there is nothing that he needs to do. He is beyond the law of karma. He's beyond everything. He's the one who has designed everything. So he's above and beyond all the kinds of laws, all kinds of etiquettes. There is no work prescribed for him. But Lord Krishna says in 3.22 that he's engaged in doing the duties, so that he sets an example for people to follow. Because yadi yadi acharati shreshthas tatta devitaro janha. Whatever example the great people set, common men follow. So he is trying to do all those duties so that he sets example for people to follow. But many people, they will not look at those things, but they will go in the confidential pastimes of rasa dance or pastimes with his wives, and only focus on that without any foundational understanding about behind all these things. So that's a wrong way of approaching God. Um, in the rasa dance pastime, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, which has all the Leelas of Lord Krishna, there are 4 chapters which are dedicated to the rasa dance, which is again the most confidential portion, where the Lord is having exchanges in Madhurya Ras with the gopis, and those are not which we need to discuss, which we should be discussing with new people, because they are very hard to understand unless you have the foundational knowledge. We should not be jumping to those. But since we are talking about this particular topic right now in the setting of devotees who are the mood is that we are trying to relish Srimad Bhagavatam. This is not a class or a discussion meant for totally new people. So I can pick up a few points. I thought I can pick up a few things from there as well. They're on the same line. Like Krishna is dancing with so many gopis. Again, in that pastime also, Lord Krishna expanded himself so that there were as many Krishnas as there were number of gopis, and each gopi felt that Lord Krishna was dancing only with her. So Yogamaya, which is internal energy of the Lord, she manifests all these pastimes, so that because the Lord wants to enjoy with his devotees, and those devotees who have done so much tapasya and now they have reached that high platform to have the Madhurya pastimes with the Lord. So Yogamaya arranges all those things where Lord Krishna is able to do these pastimes. So in 10.33, which is so Canto 10, chapter 33 is one of those rasa pastimes chapters. There are a few verses which are very nice. In one, the acharyas are saying Lord Krishna is having pastime with these gopis. You can understand it's like a young boy who is playing with his own reflection. So maybe there's a small boy, imagine, and he has a mirror, and he's looking in the mirror and just having fun with the mirror, and he's looking just at himself. So all these gopis, who are they? They are all the energy of the Lord. They are expansions of Radharani, who's again, one energy of the Lord. So they are nothing but all the jivas are nothing but separated parts and parcels, amshas of the Lord. So Krishna is just playing with his own creation. It's like he's playing with his own reflection. So that, if you understand, so Yogamaya creates those situations, and it's just like a boy playing with his own reflection. we all belong to the Lord. The Lord is the only Purusha, and everybody else is Prakriti. It's the feminine energy. We are. He's the only male, and so he's the only one who can enjoy. And we are all created by him, and it's like yeah, I'm just repeating myself here, but there is nothing to be very. It's not so wonderful in the sense that we all anyway belong to the Lord. Lord is seated in our heart. He knows all the secrets. So what is the other secret that if he's having a secret pastime with a gopi, what is wrong about that? He is anyway seated in each and every person's heart, including the heart of the gopis, and he knows all the secrets. There is nothing which is hidden from Lord Krishna. He's seated in the heart. He knows everything that is going on. So what can you say about he's having something secret with the gopi? He anyway knows the secrets of each and every person. He's there. He's a companion of each and every living entity. He knows everything. So there's nothing wrong really in doing those pastimes. And that chapter 33 also, in one commentary, one Acharya has mentioned that, again talking about those people who are trying to imitate Lord Krishna, that they're trying to tell us don't try to imitate great personalities. For example, if you try to drink poison, you will get destroyed. Lord Shiva was able to drink the poison and hold it in his neck, and his neck became blue with that poison. But if we try to do the same, if we try to imitate, we are going to get destroyed. So do not try to imitate great personalities. There is a difference between following in the footsteps versus imitation. And all this knowledge, what to do, what to not do, is given by acharyas, by the teachers, by the saints. So we should try to follow that. And also in another verse in that same chapter, Lord Krishna mentions that he takes this human-like form to attract people towards devotional service. In fact, that point was also mentioned in today's verse as well in the purport, that he takes this form, he does all these pastimes just to attract people to take up the path. When they think, oh, this is so wonderful. I mean, once if you are hearing from a pure devotee with a proper consciousness, you will be amazed. Oh, wow, like Lord Krishna expanded himself in 16,108 forms, and he was having individual relationship with all these wives. So those people, their heart could fill with a different kind of joy and different kind of this curiosity to know more about God, and that's what he wants. He wants to attract people through all these pastimes. So that's another one reason why Krishna takes human-like form and does these kind of activities. And that chapter has like very, very deep things. I took out two more points. So yeah, when he was dancing with the gopis, he danced for a duration which was equal to one night of Lord Brahma, which is like 1,000 ages. It's a long time. Lord Krishna was only 8 years old in that during that pastime, and they danced for almost like infinity. It's a very, very long time. But the activities that happen in Vrindavan are beyond the calculations of time and place. So Krishna can do all kinds of wonderful things. Like he can expand himself, he can expand his devotees. Like Mother Devaki was present in each and every palace. So Lord Krishna can do anything. And Yog Maya, his energy, assists him in doing all these wonderful pastimes. And one more point was that when these gopis were going for the rasa dance, it's mentioned that they went in their spiritual bodies. So their husbands, their so-called husbands, saw that the wife was still at home and maybe sleeping or taking care of the baby, but Gopi had left in her spiritual form, and then she was dancing with Lord Krishna for that whole night, like one night of Lord Brahma, which is a very, very, very long duration of time. The Lord Krishna can do all these wonderful things. He wants all of us to come back to him. So he's giving all these topics for us to relish and to attract us to this path. And that's the reason, that's like why these scriptures exist, to show us the right path. And if we are fortunate enough to come in touch with the pure devotee, read their words, like how we feel very, very fortunate to have Srila Prabhupada's writings, pure devotees. His words we are able to read even after he's not here on the planet. In languages all over the world, like not just Sanskrit. So you're not even. It's not that if you don't know Sanskrit, then you are doomed. You will not have access. Devotees have translated it in so many languages. So everybody on this planet Earth practically uh, has a chance to come in contact with this great literature and make their lives perfect. So I will stop here. There are a few more points, but we are at 8:51. If there are any discussions, any corrections, comments, maybe some questions, we can take that for a few minutes. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have one question. Can I go to that?
Sure, Mataji, I'll try. If not, I'll defer it to other devotees on the call. But yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I heard these gopikas are not real wives or gopikas. They are some Vedas, 16,108 Vedas are there. That is the main point. That is correct or not? I don't know. Please clarify that. I will
not heard like that, Mataji, that they are Vedas or what we just read, or like these wives had done a lot of austerities in their past lives, and that's how they got a chance to become Lord Krishna's wife. And also the gopis, they were sages in the past life when in the forest of Dandakaranya. And some of them are Nitya Siddhas, like they just come directly from the spiritual world. I have not heard, Mataji, that there are 16,108 Vedas. So if any other devotee has heard something like that, please chime in. But I have not heard anything like that.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. I heard, but that is not clear, I think. Yeah, wonderful explanation from you that Krishna's Maya and everything, Gopikas. In everywhere he is appearing with his parents and wives. That is very wonderful clarification and appreciate it. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the wonderful explanation, Mataji. About how even though he looks like a human, he does act like human, but he's still not a human. So he does act like a human being. So thank you so much for explaining that aspect very beautifully. And always regarding something which you mentioned, that how frequently asked question, why does Krishna have so many wives, gopis? So a devotee is saying that the problem is not why Krishna has, problem is why can't we have?
Yeah.
So yeah, but thank you so much, Mataji, for exploring that aspect very nicely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice lecture.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Your love for Krishna really showed through that lecture. You were like a mother defending her child, vigorously upholding Lord Krishna's honor. Yet you were also in the mood of a devotee just being amazed at what Lord Krishna can do. That was very nice. I appreciated that.
Thank
But the purport, like you said, is full of some very wonderful realizations. I really like where Srila Prabhupada says, such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually, but if the same relation is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to the transcendental world in the purport. Meaning, if we want to have a husband-wife relationship in the material world, they cannot eternally satisfy us. But if we want to have that with Krishna, then we get to, and if we're serious and sincere about that, then in the transcendental world, one can perfect that relation. One can be in that relationship. If we want to be the loving mother of a child in this material world, due to nature of time and conditioning, we can't maintain that. But if we try to cultivate that same affection for Lord Krishna, then we can engage in that in the transcendental world. That was, I really liked how Srila Prabhupada said that in the purport. Such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually, but if the same relation is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to the transcendental world. Very wonderful.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
The purport was full of gems, what to talk about and what to leave. Yeah, very, very nice points Srila Prabhupada has put.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I don't have a question, but just want to thank you for the wonderful explanation of the Lord's pastimes with references. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So
Okay,
I think we'll end.
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything else?
No. I also wanted to say that. Yeah, maybe we can end.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Please come join at the temple if you can for our Sunday feast. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.